Hi, this is George at Fun with Flies. Today we're going to be tying a Black Widow spider. So what I have here is I have some about a 3/4 inch hook. I've got some black synthetic dubbing. I'm going to be using some red synthetic dubbing. I've got some black silicone legs and some black foam. Some black thread. I'm going to go ahead and thread the hook in a second. And the hardest part about tying this one is just the pattern itself. When I'm all done, I'll include a link here where you can go and you can actually download the PDF for this, so you can actually cut it out. But basically, this is what it looks like right there. It's almost like a bra, a little longer on one end. Okay, and you'll see why it's like this in a second. And you're also going to need some super glue and some resin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to thread the hook. I'm going to thread it with black thread from the start, right behind the eye, all the way. All the way to the shaft. And the thing you really want to be careful with when you're tying this one is you want to make sure overcrowding the eye is really easy on this pattern. So just be conscious the whole time of where the eye is. So I'm laying it on nice and heavy. Get to about the gap. Okay, going back. Do this to get some extra thread on here and some extra weight. It's got some for the foam to grab. Okay, now when I get to here, what I'm going to want to do is just use a little bit of red dubbing. Now we're going to be doing barely any. This just gives it a little red flash on the bottom of the abdomen. So even that's too much. So usually what I do is take out some and then cut it in half. And that'll do it right there. So a little wet, go back and forth and then one direction. And I want to keep it confined to the 1/3 of the hook right here. And if you go over top of it, it's okay, it doesn't hurt anything. Basically you're getting a little ball in there. Then I'm going to come forward. And just a little bit of black dubbing just to give it a little life. Same thing, don't want a lot. Set that down here, I'm going to use some in a little while. Okay, get it on here. All for behind the abdomen. Okay, I'm going to get this back over here to the abdomen, which is going to be right about where the bend is. And you'll see what I mean by the bend in a second. But you want to go to the little bit past the gap of the hook. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of super glue. And we're going to run it along top of that dubbing. Just a little bit. And forget about it. Now we're going to take this piece right here. So we're going to take the part, just like I said, like the bra, without the strap. And we're going to place that back over toward the bend, which is right about here. And we're going to just drop that in here and we're going to tighten it down. Okay, so you're looking at a flap right here. And when we push that down, we have plenty of room behind the eye. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to be folding this over, and that's going to form the head right there. So we got that right where we want it. So pick this back up, bring that thread all the way toward the end of toward the end of the abdomen, which is right about there. Okay, now we're going to apply some super glue on here. A little drop, and what I do is this: I put a drop on, grab an old piece of foam, and lay it on there just light. Get the edges, get everything, whatever you got extra, put on the other side. You don't want too much where it comes oozing out the sides and stuff like that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is you're going to take 4 legs, keeping them together. Okay, you don't want to separate them to the very end. You're going to cut them off about the right leg, a little long. So what I have here is make sure you got 4. Like right here I got Looks like 3. And you don't want that because you want 4. So let's see, what do we got here? Okay, here's 4 right here. So I got to double check, make sure you got 4. 3 won't work. Oh, 6-legged spider. Okay, I'm going to take him, pull him down for a second. Like this right here. I grab him with the 2 fingers and then wrap it. I'm going to push this flap down. Okay, while I have this flap pushed down, almost like a really big pinch wrap, I'm going to take this right here. Okay, so now I got this part, I've got the legs. Make sure your legs are nice and straight. You got your body in. Now I'm going to take a little more black while I'm right here. A little more black dubbing. Again, not much, just a little bit. Pull that dubbing down in. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap over, fold it down again, right behind the leg, or right in front of the legs. You have to pick the legs up so they're out of the way. And then that's going to take care of the thorax right there. So I'm going to do a little more dubbing. Okay, and now the next thing I'll do is wrap forward. Now let me wrap it forward is I'm pulling the head up, going underneath, and I'm going to catch the head right behind the eye right there. Right behind the eye of the hook. And now I'm going to take some scissors and I'm going to cut that excess flap off. And I'm going to grab it all and wrap it in. Nice and tight. And what that actually does is it starts to look like his fangs. The extra rubber right there. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to whip tie it. But before I whip tie it, what I like to do, because it takes a minute for the little bit of paint to dry, is I've got a little bit of red paint on a brush. Take a little bit right from the cap itself, because you just want to put barely any on. You always do a little bit, you can always add more. Okay, pinky balances on there. There. And that's all I want on that. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to whip finish this. A nice whip finish. It's nice and tight. Okay. Take a little bead cement. Making sure I don't get any in the eye. Just to hold that threaded. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is being real careful with the silicone legs. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pick them up and get them the same length. Okay. I'm going to take a dubbing needle, small dubbing needle, and I'm going to tick it here on the ends. So when I'm going to tick it, I'm just going to go down and the reason I do it on the ends is you don't want to pull too hard here. You'll rip the legs off. And you just tip it up, just nick it off, just so you can pull them apart. Now, I haven't seen this tied this way before. You know, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I needed to get that really big abdomen, and I needed a way to set the legs in here where they're going straight across and not folded down or tied in. Like you see a lot where people tie them into the body right here. I really want them to lay flat on the water. So what I'm talking about is this. See how you get this nice red spot, just like a black widow? The thorax is fur, toward the head there's like a little bit of fur. We're gonna clean this up a little bit with some scissors once the glue's all nice and dry. And then we're gonna resin the abdomen and make a nice beautiful black widow. And again, pull these so that's the whole thing, gap right out. We got some really nice attractor legs sitting on there. Okay, so we're almost done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over, and what I want to do is make sure I'm nice and even all the way around. So looking at it here, I could see it's got a little chunk piece sticking out right there. You know, it's good you have your, don't worry too much about always having the perfect pattern and the perfect fit, because a lot of times you have to adjust it, so you get used to adjusting it. You can angle these, make it more, you know, the more time you spend on this, taking little bits out at a time, the more perfect you can get it round. But for right now, for me, this is good enough. I want to catch fish. Okay, so he's on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some resin. So this time for the resin, I'm going to use my flow right here, shake it up real good. And as usual, what I do with the flow is take most of it off. Otherwise it gets too heavy on there. Real light over the paint. Just a little bit there. Nice shiny abdomen. Okay, and not too much though. And I don't want to put any underneath. Well, I mean just along the edge. But I don't want to cover the dubbing. Taking it off here so it's nice. Get a little build up here so it almost gives it like a tail. Not the tail, but they have a little abdomen part right there. And that should do it. Now if I had a nice sunny day today, I'd just take it out and put it in the sun for a little while, but get used to light.
Hello, Charlie Cricket here. I want to tell you a little bit about funwithflies.com. First off, I hope you're enjoying the video. I like watching George tying in flies. If you visit the website, funwithflies.com, you'll notice that all the patterns are on there, so they're all free to watch. There's nothing to sign up. That includes videos on different types of techniques. You even have basic videos for the beginner who wants to learn, start with the basics and wants to learn some of the basics with some easier flies to tie. My favorite's Kids Bench. I teach Kids Bench. That's for the little guys and girls, and they can go in and they can learn how to draw the bugs. They learn about the bugs. They can play games. Even got you can download pictures to color. It's just all around a lot of fun. Then of course there's YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to that so you can see all the updates. Okay, well I look forward to seeing you. This is Charlie Cricket. You have a good day. Bye.
Okay, I want to thank you for joining in. And watching this is what I call the Werby Widow. Really nice attractors, very big abdomen. Nice little red attraction on there. I cannot wait to fish this on a nice windy summer day. Thank you for joining in. I hope you have a good day. This is George, Fun with Flies.